festive season. Twinkling lights, warm fires, and joyful carols. But across the British Isles, a chilling secret lurks. For centuries, the darkest hauntings have awoken with the long winter nights, waiting for Christmas to make their presence known. Tonight we plunge into the real terrifying tales of Yuletide ghosts that refuse to rest. Our journey begins outside Cambridge, at Maddingley Hall, an elegant Tudor mansion. Here, a tragic tale unfolded. In the 1500s, Sir Francis Hind, a powerful and ruthless figure, tore down a sacred Catholic church, St. Etheldreda, using its very stones to enlarge his own home. This act was a profound sacrilege, especially to his devout Catholic mother, Lady Ursula Hind, who had died years prior. Legend says her spirit felt the desecration, and her anguish would not allow her to rest. Every Christmas Eve, as darkness falls over Cambridge, a lone female figure emerges from Maddingley Hall. It is the ghost of Lady Ursula Hind, seen wringing her hands, weeping, as she retraces the long-lost path between her home and the site of the church her son destroyed. Dressed in a dark Tudor gown, her overwhelming grief is palpable. She glides through modern fences and across busy roads, fixed in her sorrow, forever mourning the sacrilege. Her haunting is a poignant paradox, a spirit returning to grieve an event that occurred after her own death, a testament to her profound heartbreak. Lady Ursula's presence intensified during the Victorian era, when Prince Edward, future Edward VII, resided there. Servants reported a woman sobbing in corridors, always described consistently. A black Tudor dress, head bowed, silent sobs, often near rooms containing materials from the demolished church. Later, a WB-1 soldier on night duty encountered her on the main drive. She vanished downwards into the ground. In 1951, an au pair in the turret bedroom, which contained a stolen beam, saw the pale, silent figure twice in one night. Maddingley Hall's lady continues her sorrowful vigil, a truly enduring Christmas ghost. Next, we visit the Castle Hotel in Neath, South Wales, a historic coaching inn built in 1695. Despite its esteemed guests like Nelson and Elizabeth Taylor, this seemingly ordinary building is a hub of paranormal activity. Its most frequent apparition is the Lady in Black, a figure in a long Victorian dress, gliding silently through corridors and stairwells. Witnesses describe her head bowed, hands clasped in perpetual mourning. She has been seen descending the main staircase and even opening the lobby doors as she exits, only to vanish when approached. Her identity remains a mystery, but her profound sorrow is unmistakable. The Castle Hotel harbors a diverse cast of spirits. A headless cavalier, a 17th century soldier, roams the older parts of the building, often preceded by a sudden temperature drop and the sound of marching boots. He appears fully formed, but without a head, endlessly searching. A playful Edwardian boy, 8 to 10 years old, is seen running through hallways, peeking around doors, sometimes heard laughing or tapping, and in room 16, the ghost of a chambermaid who tragically ended her life in 1885, pregnant and abandoned, is seen leaning precariously from the window, reliving her despair. A mischievous poltergeist adds to the hotel's festive chaos, particularly in the kitchen. Staff report knocks, bangs, rearranged cutlery, and doors swinging violently. On one December morning, a perfectly decorated Christmas tree was found on the floor, its baubles meticulously placed around it, as if by unseen hands. But the activity truly explodes on Christmas Eve. Objects are thrown, doors slam, disembodied voices call, lights flicker, and furniture shifts. In 1998, staff found every guest room door open and all lights on, with no one else in the building. For the Castle Hotel, Christmas Eve is a spectral reunion, turning the building into a hub of inexplicable disturbances. Ireland, a land steeped in legend, is particularly known for crisis apparitions, or fetches, chilling sightings of a loved one at the very brink of death. These brief, spontaneous appearances can cross impossible distances. It was in Waterford, Ireland's oldest city, a historic port where Viking ships once sailed, that one of the most disturbing crisis apparitions was witnessed during Queen Victoria's reign, linking the living with the dead through a spectral warning. On a silent Christmas Eve in late 19th century Waterford, Eli Hast was securing his house along Scotch Quay. Suddenly, footsteps echoed on the cobblestones. Peeking from his window, Eli watched in horror as his twin brother Jack ran desperately towards the house, his lips silently pleading, "For God's sake, help me!" 3 shadowy figures pursued him, dragging him to the ground. Eli rushed to the door, intent on rescue, only to find the key utterly empty. The next morning, tragic news arrived. Jack had fallen overboard his ship in Cork and drowned, officially ruled sleepwalking, but Eli knew otherwise. He had witnessed his brother's death 80 miles away. 2 decades later, Eli, still haunted, learned the terrifying truth in a Cork pub. A dying man, Webster, confessed his son Tom's secret. On that fateful Christmas Eve, maritime watchman Tom had witnessed Jack's death from the harbor. 3 strange figures with the heads of wild animals had rowed to Jack's ship, chased him along the deck with echoing laughter, and heard Jack's desperate cry of, "For God's sake, help me," before he plunged into the freezing sea. The figures then removed their animal masks, staring coldly at Tom, who remained silent out of fear for 20 years. Jack's death was no accident. It was murder. Eli Hast had indeed seen the final, terrifying moments of his beloved twin brother from 80 miles away, a spectral warning that continues to chill the imagination. High above the River Dee in Scotland stands Abigail Castle, a 16th century tower house with royal connections. But its most poignant story belongs to French Kate, also known as Kitty Ranke, a servant accused of witchcraft in the 17th century. Rumors claimed she possessed the second sight and used a basin of water to scry for visions. One day, the lady of the castle, curious about her absent husband, pressed Kitty for information. Reluctantly, Kitty looked into the water and saw the lord courting other women overseas. The lady, furious despite her feigned amusement, demanded Kitty raise a storm to punish him. Kitty refused. Soon after, a storm did arise by chance, sinking the lord's ship and drowning all aboard. The lady of the castle, seizing the opportunity, falsely accused Kitty of witchcraft, spreading malicious rumors among the villagers. Despite her pleas, Kitty was dragged to the top of Craignaban Hill and burned alive, a horrifying testament to the perils of superstition and fear. In her final moments, consumed by anguish, Kate is said to have uttered a curse, that the Lord of Abigaili and his descendants would know no peace. To this day, on cold winter nights, her haunting screams are heard on Craignaban. Inside the castle, a pale, wraith-like figure in tattered 17th century clothing is seen in the cellars, corridors, and clock tower. Her soft footsteps and whispered French words, echoing a fate steeped in injustice. French Kate's ghost remains a poignant silent witness to centuries of sorrow at Abigaili Castle. The tradition of sharing ghost stories at Christmas dates back centuries, making the long winter nights perfect for tales of the supernatural. Beyond the main tales, spectral encounters endure. A penny-pinching Lady C who boarded a London taxi after her death by fire, the Lady in White, who replays her fatal leap every 7 years at Braywick House, and the mournful Charlotte Cavendish at Ireland's Lismore Castle, forever seen drifting through upper corridors. These are but a few of the many spirits that stir when the festive season arrives. Their stories, often tragic and heartbreaking, remind us that not all Yuletide visitors bring cheer. As the nights grow long, these real Christmas ghosts continue their eternal walks, ensuring the holiday season is truly unforgettable. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey through the British Isles.